What's up, y'all? We're back with another video. We are working on the S2000 once again, and we are going to be changing out the fenders. As you can see, this fender is kind of chalked. If we look over on the other side, it's not as bad, honestly. I pulled the fenders just a little bit, but you don't see any major lipping right here, which is cool. So I'm going to be removing both of the fenders. I'm probably going to take the bumper off as well, but I still have to get the car up in the air first. But yeah, let's get started. On to the next side. Dirty in here. We're gonna go ahead and start on this side first. So it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts on the top. We have to separate the ones right here, and then I believe we have one in here. Usually you'll have a bolt in here, but since this is an aftermarket bumper and the balancing points weren't really that good, I just zip tied it together. I believe there's some on the bottom right over here too. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start taking everything apart. Man, just look right here. They're listening. The bottom fender. There's so much debris coming out because I didn't have a fender liner inside for the longest time. I don't know if you can see inside here. Remember, make sure you keep your fender liners inside, especially if you live in rainy areas or where there's a lot of debris, because that's what'll happen. So now that the fender's off, we're gonna go ahead and grab the other one, start installing that side. All right, so that definitely took longer than expected. There was a lot of wrestling that I needed to do to basically make everything fit. There was some fitment issues, and there still are, in terms of getting all the bolts in place. It seems like some of the holes don't line up. So I got this one in, and I was able to get the end piece in. But as you can see, this does not really line up. I mean, I can try and move it, but I would have to kind of shift it over. So that's one of the issues I had. Then as for these ones, they're slightly offset. How this one is kind of offset to the right, this one's offset to the left. So maybe if I'm able to like push this piece in, I could probably put 2 more bolts. But other than that, I don't see any other way of doing that. I think one of the hardest parts was aligning the headlight again. As you can see, the fitment here is kind of sketch. Along the top is all right. And I was able to get this bolt in right here, but this other piece somewhere on the back over here, there's 2 bolts. I was only able to get 1 bolt in. On the bottom, I was able to get 2. The fitment along right here between the fender and the door is not too bad, but as you can see, it progressively gets wider as you go down. So that's something that you're very meticulous about. That's an issue that you're gonna have. And then one of the big issues is actually how it lines up right here on the body line. The lines do match up, but it's just obviously this one's a lot lower. And the bolt that's right here is one of the ones that I'm not able to get as well. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but it's to the right instead of being all the way pushed up. So there is some alignment issues, but it seems like after putting some of the bolts in, it is pretty sturdy. So, I mean, we'll rock with it, then I'll try and get more of the bolts in later. All right, y'all, so this side is completely done. The wheel is mounted and all of that. There are some areas where I wasn't able to get all of the bolts in. So that top right corner, I wasn't able to get some bolts in. And then over here, there was supposed to be 3 in this area. I was only able to get the far left one, and then I got the one in the middle. But other than that, I mean, the fitment issues were there, but in terms of everything else lining up, I managed to close the gap a little bit more on the bottom right over here, but as you can see, it's still pretty big compared to the top where it's pretty flush. The best fitment is honestly on the top between the fender and the hood. As you can see, it's pretty dead on to what OEM is on this side. So I'll probably mess around with it just a little bit more and it should be good. As for the headlights, you can see how it kind of matches up a little bit, but you see in the far right how there's a bit of a gap. But I mean, other than that, fitment isn't too bad. Still need to go ahead and roll the fenders because these right here are pretty thick, and I just want to see how it looks once the wheels compress all the way in and the car is on the ground. So if it is an issue, I'll probably take the wheel off and actually try and roll it a little bit more, but as of right now, we're gonna roll with it. That being said, let's go ahead and start on the other side. I already took off the fender liner and got rid of that. So it'll be the same thing that we did on the other side, but just with this side now. Alright, so this is the other fender in. So it's looking like, at least for the top of the fender, fitment's a little bit better. This hole was actually able to line up, and it looks like all of these right here are able to line up as well. As always, I feel like this part is gonna be the hardest area to kind of line up, and maybe over here by the door. But other than that, I feel like the top and the bottom right over here, as long as the bottom isn't too messed up, you should be able to line it up pretty good. Alright, so this is how the car looks on the ground. Definitely looks a lot more aggressive with the new fenders. You can kind of see from this profile how much more it sticks out. It took a good minute to have everything actually fit the way it's supposed to. The end product is not that bad. I'm definitely excited to see this car wrap though. So yep, with that being said, we're gonna move on to part 2, and yep, stay tuned.